It is one of West Michigan's most well-known streets, but a portion of 28th Street that runs through the city of Wyoming is a far cry from what it once was. Now the city has a plan that thinks they can turn the area around. 24 Hour News 8's Tom Hillen went to the city to find out if that dream will become a reality. Tom?
Brian, these plans have been about 3 years in the making. The city of Wyoming hopes to turn this portion of 28th Street between Burlingame and Clyde Park into downtown Wyoming. They hope it becomes a spot for families to come that is safe for them to walk, shop, and eat. 28th Street in Wyoming was once filled with iconic West Michigan businesses like Rogers, Studio 28, and Klingman's. Those days are gone, but city officials say what once was can be once again. And for those who say it can't be done, Rebecca Reinbrandt with the city of Wyoming says you don't have to look far to see change can happen.
What did they say about Grand Rapids and Division and where Van Andel Arena is now at? You know, every year goes through a cycle, and we're going from good to great.
The project is called 28 West, and ultimately the city wants it to become a downtown Wyoming.
What we have struggled with a little bit is that safe environment where people feel they can walk and cross into an area that they can shop, store to store.
The vision is designed around something called form-based code, which sets regulations versus guidelines for developers. The code gives the city the ability to set where buildings go and what they will look like.
If a developer comes in, has the plans, they know exactly what is expected, so it takes the guesswork out, so it helps us expedite their investment into the community.
The city says it will create a new street to run through the development, and that is how people will access the businesses and restaurants. So will developers buy what the city is selling? Reinbrandt says there's already interest.
We're already getting calls from developers from the Detroit side saying, hey, we want to look at moving into the Grand Rapids metropolitan market, and they're already scheduling meetings.
Tomorrow will be your time to bring your questions and concerns to the city. They are holding a meeting at the Wyoming Library at 6 o'clock. Brian?
Tom, while we have you, what happens to the existing buildings on that site like Rogers Plaza?
Well, Reinbrandt says there's a possibility that Rogers Plaza could eventually be divided into several extra buildings, and the facade may change with that as well. However, that would be more up to the owner of the building right now than it is to the city. Brian?
Tom Hillen, thank you for that live report.